Ah, Lady de Sardet. Did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the de Vespe family in Tirfredi is surprising, and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the d'Orsay family and Serene. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurelia de Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vikshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know this place, but I thought that only the Donaigada from the Baragnodash clan knew how to access it. It's a sacred place. That's where Animide shed his blood.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. Goodbye, Lady Morange.
Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful. Don't underestimate the trickery of the de Vespes.
Legate de Sardet, I presume.
Indeed. Delighted to meet you, Your Grace.
The accounts I've been given of you and your companions don't do you justice. Truly, it is a pleasure. We're going to become wonderful friends, you and I'm sure of it. Say, aren't we going to be cousins soon?
Pardon me, Your Grace, but I'm not sure I follow. And if I may ask, what is it precisely that brings you to this remote island?
Haven't you heard? Well, it seems the messengers on this island are not particularly reliable. No matter. Your uncle and my father have decided that your cousin, Prince Constantine, and I are to be married. So, here I am.
My. This is incredible news.
I know you must be surprised. However, this alliance will be a wonderful way to put an end to the enmity between us, don't you think?
Indeed. But I should warn you that the current situation is complicated. My cousin seems to have got it into his head that he'll conquer the island. And...
Oh? What audacity! But I'm sure our allies won't look very favorably on this situation. Still, I have to admit that such ambition only piques my interest in my new fiancé. I don't think it jeopardizes our arrangements. Not for the moment, at least. Then, you and I will be cousins, of course. Furthermore, I was hoping I might be able to count on your assistance.
Of course, Your Grace. What can I do for you?
You see, I didn't want to impose myself on New Serene until all the necessary arrangements had been made for my arrival. I had the Nauts drop us off in a quiet place outside the city. Too far outside the city, clearly. There were these savages and bandits skulking around the woods and threatening us. They even robbed me. Worst of all, they took the chest in which I was keeping the marriage contract.
Savages? The only savages I know are the ones who invaded our home.
Oh, please forgive me, I meant no disrespect. Natives then, is it? In any case, it's absolutely mortifying to have to ask you this, but you know the island and its inhabitants better than I do. Could you perhaps retrieve the chest for me? I would be eternally grateful, cousin.
Can you tell me more about the theft?
Of course. We were unloading our things from those horrid little boats that the Nauts get about in when it was taken. I was busy setting up camp at the time, so I didn't see who it was. My men didn't see much either, because it was dark. But certain natives from the region stopped by in the morning. They were aggressive and insisted that we leave. I'm sure they were behind the robbery, unless it was just bandits. There were a couple that my men chased away, but that's all I know.
Thank you. We'll get about finding it.
Is there anything else?
I won't deny that I'm surprised to hear about your engagement to my cousin, despite the excellent reason you put forth.
Surely you didn't think your cousin would stay single forever? Perhaps you thought to remedy this yourself? Know that although the decision was not my own, I'm very pleased about it. I got the impression your uncle thought a wedding might calm your cousin a little. And now that he's in the role of governor, he needs a wife of his standing. My father saw an opportunity to get me away from Peren, where I was in great danger, and found me a worthy husband in the process. But again, it's clear that their main intention was to put an end to years of conflict. Is there anything else?
Since we're going to be cousins, I'll have to get to know you better.
Well, aren't you just lovely? I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was raised like any good princess, educated in both arts and arms. But, as I had several older brothers, I was never really given a political role. I'm still my father's favorite, though. You may know that I've already been married once, but my husband was murdered in cold blood as part of a plot at court.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
You're too kind. After he died, my father decided it was best to send me away from Peren. He knew your cousin was unmarried and was tired of the futile disputes between our families. So he contacted Prince d'Orsay, and the rest is history. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
I simply cannot believe that Prince d'Orsay would marry his son to that princess. His father may not much like Constantine, but not to the point he would consent to him marrying the family's worst enemy.
I can't believe it either. There's too much rancor between our families.
Could the contract she spoke of be forged? Is it even possible? I'm not familiar with the practice.
A document can be forged, especially by them. This much is clear. If we find it, it'll need close scrutiny. If I've understood correctly, the chest was here when it was stolen. Ah, there are footprints which lead away from the camp. There are other footprints here. They're quite deep, as if the person who made them were carrying a heavy load. We're on the right path. The undergrowth has been crushed. Several people passed through here. The footprints seem less hurried. The thieves must have felt safer here. We must be getting close.
We don't see many around here. But I'm convinced they don't eat their prey where they catch it. They would normally take it back to their lair.
Maybe they were about to do just that when we got here. Let's look around. We'll soon find out. And let's not forget Aurelia's chest. The poor souls didn't enjoy their loot very long. It looks as though they were attacked as soon as they settled down here. This campfire is strange. The ashes and embers are laid out as they should be, but the ground beneath them is untouched. This campfire has not been used. It seems as though it was just laid out as a prop. I'm troubled by this fake campfire. It casts a strange light upon this whole affair. We'd best go back to the camp and return the chest. The Vesp coat of arms. This must be the chest Aurelia asked us to find.
I say we open it. Let's see if the contract she spoke of is genuine.
I can't see a lock, and we'd be hard-pressed to explain why we broke it. We'd better bring it back untouched.
Halt! Look, a group of armed men. They seem to be waiting for us. We should watch them for a while before moving on.
It seems they are Aurelia de Vesp's swordsmen. I'm afraid it is now beyond doubt. These men were sent to ambush us. Aurelia sent us to recover that chest solely in order to get rid of us.
If it were up to me, I'd give those assassins a taste of our steel. But if you'd rather play it diplomatically, it shouldn't be difficult to avoid them.
Nimnater. That horrible woman sent us to recover her chest in order to get rid of us. She hoped these killers would be the end of us. She deserves Enon Milfrichtemann's wrath. May he engulf her in lava. What do you
You? I didn't think I'd see you again. So soon.
Is that because you'd hoped we'd be clawed to death by those beasts, or because you thought your assassins would get the better of us?
Come now, who do you take me for? I was just putting your courage to the test, that's all. A princess's whim. I kindly suggest you forget all about this little incident. You see, my dear, we de Vesps have a habit of knowing as much about our enemies as our friends. I'm afraid my father's men have obtained some rather sensitive information, which, well, if the other governors were to find out, it could very well jeopardize your position, along with that of the d'Orsay. If word were to get out about your origin, for example.
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Oh, what a horrid word! Come now, I would never do such a thing. Let's just say that I'm ensuring your loyalty. In fact, some of my men are already at the courts of Hikmet and San Mateus, and ready to act if you try anything. But I'm sure it won't come to that. We'll soon be part of the same family, after all.
Here's your chest. This is the one you sent me to fetch.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you for your help. You have shown yourself to be as reliable as they say. Long may it continue to be the case. Well, now that I've recovered my precious documents, you will be able to deliver the wedding contract to your cousin in New Serene. I await the preparations for my arrival and accommodation. Then there'll be plenty of time to prepare the ceremony with my husband-to-be.
The arrival of a noble lady such as yourself will require several arrangements. New Serene is a very new city.
Yes, I'm sure. Don't dither for too long now. I'm counting on you to be as quick as possible. And to convince your cousin and his men to be reasonable. You know what's at stake. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
She has us. We now have the contract, but even if it does turn out to be forged, we have no choice but to bend to her will.
Damnation. She's a thorn in our side. I wonder what she knows exactly.
Sadly, all families have their secrets. And whichever one she holds would be enough to put our family at risk.
We must get those documents back. Let's go to Hikmet and San Mateus and take the wind out of their sails. After that, we can settle our score with her.
You're right. It's the only way to put an end to this alliance and supplant the Viper.
Your Excellency, Her Highness... Her Highness, Aurelia de Vespe of the Merchant Congregation has sent me to convey her regards. She would like to assure you of her deepest respect and her unwavering support as an ally with any troubles you may encounter. She also wishes to forewarn you that the person who, until now, presented herself as the congregation's legate may soon lose her position. Indeed, she is believed to have lied about her lineage, and doubt has now been cast upon her titles of nobility. It is also rumored that she has engaged in questionable dealings involving the guilds and the natives. We sincerely hope that, until this situation has been clarified, you will treat her with the utmost suspicion. Naturally, if these allegations prove to be true, a new legate will be appointed by Her Highness immediately.
Madam, I thank you for your kind words, but I do not know you. You come on behalf of someone I do not know either, and who, to my knowledge, has no political authority. Yet you present yourself before my court, making accusations against someone who has always shown herself to be respectable, and who has come to our aid numerous times. I must ask you to leave, madam. You are not welcome here. I've rarely been faced with such a deceitful, insolent person. I'm sorry you had to hear such horrendous things. What's happening in the congregation that this joke of an ambassador is challenging your position like this?
As you may be aware, Your Excellency, there's a long-standing rivalry between the de Vespe and the d'Orsay families. Aurelia de Vespe just arrived in Tirfredi and clearly intends to impose her will here by any means.
I suggest you settle this affair swiftly. Had it been anyone other than myself, they may well have believed such lies.
That's what I intend to do, Your Excellency. But to do so, I need to know where to find this ambassador.
I think I heard that she and her entourage took up residence in a farm just out of town. You should find her, so she can explain herself.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lady.
We were lucky that the governor didn't believe the de Vesp's lies.
It wasn't luck. You've always been of service to them. I think it's only right that they believe you over a stranger. What kind of evidence could those vipers have hidden here?
I don't know. But we cannot take the risk of it being used against us. Even if it is most probably false. We must tread carefully. The de Vesps are experts in the art of manipulation. We must ensure that these documents never get out.
Come closer! Come closer! All my wares are in the vanguard.
Here come the de Vesp ambassador and her henchmen.
Let's hold. We may hear that the documents you seek are hidden.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Damn it! It was a trap. There are some documents, but it's not the evidence Aurelia spoke of. These documents speak of you. It appears that the de Vesp sought out information on each of you, hoping to influence you or to drive a wedge between us.
Could you read it to me? Oh, I would like to know what a bunch of renaigs they may have found out about me.
This is just further proof of their deceit. And the so-called evidence got away again. Let's search these men. We may find something useful. According to this letter, the chest was given to a merchant in town who deals with the de Vesps. He was ordered to hand it to the governor if something happens to the delegation.
So that's where they put those documents you seek. If we're fast, we can get them back before the merchant learns of their deaths. Come closer! Come closer! All my way.
Hello. Are you Valens?
Indeed. What can I do for you, milady? Are you looking for tools for your workers? I have a large range of tools. Everything you need for mining or timber harvesting.
I have no interest in your goods. I have been sent by Her Highness Aurelia de Vesp. She asked me to recover a chest you have in your keeping.
Of course, of course. It's stuffed between my goods in the street just behind us. I hope you tell your mistress that I obeyed her orders.
Do not worry. She will be told. Hello. Are you the guard who left me a message at the embassy?
Greetings, Your Excellency. Yes, it was me. I thought you should be warned when I saw those vermin bearing the Devesp livery.
This is indeed interesting information. Do you know if they're staying in town?
The delegation leader is always at the tavern. He drinks heavily. His men wander around town looking for trouble.
Thank you. I imagine you're expecting a reward.
No, Your Excellency, keep your money. I'll consider myself highly rewarded if you manage to put a stop to their horrible manipulative plans. My old battalion was almost completely lost to those vipers. They led us into a trap and left us to rot, so I don't know what you wish to do to them. But I wish you the best success.
Hello. I wonder if we might have a word.
Desade. The D'Orsay family's henchman. I knew it. I knew I would meet my end by accepting this mission. After what you did to Ambassador Lavoisin in Hikmet.
If the ambassador and her men had not attacked me, they would certainly still be alive. Since you know who I am, you must know why I'm here.
Yes. The document chest. But don't think you can scare me into giving it to you. I've been scared to death since I got to this town. Since I got to this island. But I will not betray them.
Come. I think we got off on the wrong foot. Let's talk over a drink.
I imagine you mean to get me drunk to kill me more easily. Why not? Couldn't make things any worse. I may as well seek an inebriated death. But make no mistake, I won't tell you anything. I know where my loyalties lie. Even if I was sent on a suicide mission.
I'm sure of it. But why do you think they gave you this mission?
I imagine that I did something which displeased Her Highness. But I really don't know. Forget about it. My glass is already empty.
Come. We never wished you harm. We only want to recover some files. They do concern us, after all. Tell us where they are. A huge weight will be lifted off your shoulders.
That's true. Does it even matter? I don't have the chest anymore. I gave it to a group of inquisitors who don't like you very much. Those fools are so furious that they'd rather die than give you the chest. And Saint Matthias is with them. So, they're hiding out in one of the warehouses around the port. If you really want to confront them, it's your own choice. But you should say a prayer first.
So you found us. But don't rejoice too soon. You will not leave this warehouse alive.
Come. I'm sure we can work this out. I only want the Devesp chest.
Don't count on it. Because of you, our order has been driven off this island and the governor treats us like criminals.
We shall avenge our brothers and our order.
And death to the others! I can't remember there being posters here last time again.
What does it say? I can't read your language.
is this nonsense? Another Devesp trick. They'll truly stop at nothing. These posters could cause a full-scale riot. We must stop them from spreading around town.
As was to be expected, the crowd is getting restless.
This is incredible! Who would have thought that our governor and the legate were involved in sordid affairs?
It's obviously a lie. How could you believe that kind of poster?
You're all so gullible! I knew it all along. This government is illegitimate.
Greetings, madam. Did you happen to see by any chance who stuck up these posters?
Oh, you are the famous legate these posters speak of. You would never tell me if it were all true. Anyway, if you want revenge against the woman who stuck them up, you're too late. The guards caught her in the act, and when they saw what was written on the posters, they took her to the barracks. She must be rotting away in jail now.
Thank you. And you shouldn't believe those lies.
As if you could say anything else.
Hello. I'm the bastard murderer from your posters.
Oh, Your Excellency. I'm not responsible for the content of those posters. I had no choice but to stick them up. In a sense, the guard's arrest protected me, but my partner is under lock and key and guarded by armed men who bear the Devesp livery. They are responsible. They forced me to stick these posters up all around town. They threatened to kill my partner. If you don't stop them, they will kill him. I beg you, free him.
I believe you, and I will free your friend if I can. Do you know where the other posters are? I must destroy this nonsense before it creates a riot.
No, they only gave me one stack of them. They certainly have more, but I don't know where they're hiding the rest. The men who are holding him must know.
Very well. I have no other choice but to free him. Where is he being held?
Behind the barracks, along the docks. Please, hurry!
How would you like to take it?
Thank you for freeing me from those murderers' clutches. Do you know where my friend is? She went to stick up those horrible posters.
She sent me to rescue you. She was imprisoned, but she'll probably get out soon. The presence of these men will prove that she had no intention of causing an insurrection.
Oh, you've taken a great weight off me shoulders. I was worried she'd been killed. They were such brutes.
I must destroy the rest of the posters. Do you have any idea where those men could have hidden them?
Well, they spoke of having a reserve just outside of town. In a small hut, if my memory serves me well. You should go and check.
Thank you. And try to avoid the Devesps in the future. They're dangerous.
You're back. Any news?
I recovered some documents that Aurelia intended to use against us. I also brought you the wedding contract.
Let me see. Yes. A skillful blend of truths and untruths, as is to be expected. I'm afraid, however, this letter from Julia d'Orsay, Constantine's mother, is genuine. But your cousin is not to blame for his mother's folly. It caused him more harm than good, and he was but a child when his brother was killed. But the implication that he's not the prince's son is absurd. You know them both, and you know how much Constantine looks like his father. As for these documents about your mother, poor Livy would never have deceived your father. And furthermore,
It's all right. I know. I'm a native of Tirfredi. My real mother was a Donegad of the Sisag clan. So in a way, all this is both true and completely false. I'm not General de Sarde's daughter, and my mother never deceived him.
I wasn't aware you knew. It's true you were adopted, and though the adoption was somewhat irregular, in any case, I doubt that this information could truly be used against you. The revelations about Constantine are more cause for concern. But since you recovered the evidence, we needn't worry about it being used against us. Providing it's the only copy, of course.
I believe so. What do you make of the marriage contract? Is it genuine?
Well, the writing is that of a court clerk. But their handwriting all looks the same. Would be difficult to tell if it was truly written by your uncle. As for the seal, well, I'm almost certain that it is a forgery. But an excellent one at that. That being said, without the seal itself, you'd be hard-pressed to prove it. If we denounce this contract without evidence, everyone will say that it's just an excuse to get out of the wedding.
In that case, I need to find that seal. Let's hope Aurelia de Vespe has brought it with her.
I'd wager she did. She may want to use it again. If you want to find it, you'll have to get her away from her camp to have a good chance to search her belongings.
As I'm supposed to be organizing the princess's arrival, Lady Morange can surely help by sending for her. Thank you, sir.
Was there anything else you wish to ask?
I must be on my way. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye. And tread carefully.
By the look on your face, you've already experienced the de Vespe's deceit firsthand.
Indeed. Aurelia tried to blackmail us. I had to recover evidence she gathered against my cousin and myself, and stop a riot in town she caused by sticking up posters which mocked us, and which depicted you as the heroine.
And I can assure you I'm not responsible.
I don't doubt it, madam. However, Sir de Cosillon told me that the seal used on the wedding contract was fake, but that we needed the fake seal itself to prove it and put an end to this sham.
So you would like me to get Aurelia de Vespe away from her quarters so you can search them at your leisure?
That's the general idea. She did ask us to organize her arrival. Your message shouldn't surprise her.
Don't worry, I know exactly what I'm going to write. The young de Vespe may be talented, but I have years more experience. Oh, if I may offer some advice, you should question the Nauts who brought her here. They must have gleaned some information on our charming princess on such a long journey in close quarters. Admiral Cabral should know where they are. You should go and see her. Do you have any other questions?
Goodbye, Lady Morange.
Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful. Don't underestimate the trickery of the de Vespes.
De Sarde, what can I do for you?
Greetings, Admiral. I came to see you as I seek information about Aurelia de Vespe and her entourage. Since they landed on this island, they haven't ceased their efforts to undermine our city and our diplomatic position. And since they traveled on your ships for several months, I thought you and your men would surely have things to say about them.
We don't make a habit of revealing information about our passengers, but I'm willing to make an exception this time. Since we got here, part of our ship's crew, those who were in contact with the de Vespes, haven't been heard from. The rest of the crew, the ones who steered the ship, are here. They're worried and fear the worst for their comrades. I would be very grateful if you inquired of their whereabouts. If you find them alive, I will not object to them telling you everything they know. Quite the opposite. One thing is certain. The de Vespes will never set another foot on one of our ships.
Rest assured, I'll do my best to find them. Goodbye, Admiral.
Goodbye, de Sarde. And be careful.
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral.
A fake seal. I must admit that the Vesps are clever and well equipped.
In any case, thanks to this seal, we can prove that the contract was forged. And we can send Mr. Vesp back to the continent.
That may be so, but after seeing what was written in that journal, I'm worried about Lady Moramanji. We should try to find an antidote. The Donegada in this region should be able to help us. They must know about all the plans.
Oi, Onol Manawi.
Hello.
Bertirtumat. I'm Vad from the Beragnodas clan. I need to speak to you.
Bertirtumat, Donegada.
Bertirtumat, Siora. I hope your friend will be able to help us. I've heard people talking about you in the village, and Dunkas respects you, so I'm sure you'll understand.
What is it?
This land has been sacred for generations, and only the Donegader of our clan can come to calm the anger of Enon Melfrichtimen.
This is where he spilled the burning blood of the land to destroy our enemies. The sun trembled and the sky was black for days.
It is madness to come back here, especially for Renaigse. You must leave and take all the other Renaigse with you.
Do not fret. I intend to ensure that they don't stay long. Neither here nor on this island, for that matter.
I hope so, Honor Manawi. Because we can already feel the anger rising up to Credennis. And many would die if it spread.
And these Renaigse don't understand anything. They're multiplying like flies. No sooner had the ones in black arrived from the sea than others came from the woods to surround them. And now here you are.
I promise that these lands will soon find their peace.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
Yes. I actually need your help. I'm sure you know all about the plants in the region. Do you know of any that are poisonous? The leader of those who came here plans to poison one of my friends.
It's true that the leader left the camp at one point. She stayed in the woods for a while.
If it was poisonous plants she was after, I'm sure she would have collected sedek leaves at this time of year. It's a slow but horrible poison, which causes a great deal of suffering. But the antidote can be found in some roots that we know well.
You're in luck. We have a small bottle. Anyone who drinks it quickly after being poisoned will survive.
Thank you. I am infinitely grateful.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
Thanks again for your help. Goodbye.
And don't forget, those Renaigse need to leave.
Those Devesps disgust me with their little files full of horrible information on everyone. But make no mistake, if we don't stop them, they'll have the whole island at their beck and call with this kind of information.
Hey, is someone here? We need help! Help! Thank you. Thank you immensely for having freed us. Had we stayed here, those lunatics would have killed us.
They already killed one of the men by giving him some kind of potion.
Yes, Aurelia de Vesp came, with a smile on her face, and poisoned one of our men. To test the effects of a plan. That's what she said.
Sadly, that's not surprising. She plans to use it on Lady Morange, the former governor of New Serene. Thankfully, the Doneigada living in the region already gave me an antidote.
But you should still hurry up. If she wants that woman dead, she will use all means to see the deed through.
Did you see or hear anything which could help me while you travelled here with Aurelia de Vesp?
That woman is very secretive. She isn't the kind of person who speaks of her plans in front of those she treats as servants.
I served her in her cabin. Every time I came in, she slipped the documents she was reading or writing in special chests. However, one day I heard her talking to one of her followers. She told him that with all the information they had gathered, they would easily take over the island. She clearly spoke of bringing the other governors to their knees with the information she had against them. She wants to blackmail them.
She probably kept us locked up here because she knew that we had heard her plans.
That's undoubtedly true. Thank you for this information. Do you know how to get back to the Admiral, now that you're free?
Yes. Don't worry. We'll soon be back on our ship. Thanks to you. Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saving me. I never imagined the Devesps would go so far. She tried to poison me.
Don't mention it. The Doneigada of the Duncast clan should also be thanked, my lady. They gave us the antidote.
May they be blessed. I'll send them a present to thank them. But you should go straight to the palace. Aurelia de Vesp was headed there. I'm afraid she may try to take over by force.
I'll go there right away. Get well soon, my lady.
I'm glad you came to see me. I wanted to talk to you.
I'm listening. What's going on?
Now it seems the proud warrior cannot find the right words. Such a fool. I know I was your master of arms for a long time. You were young then, but now you have become a beautiful and fascinating young lady. And would you like to spend some time with me one night? Away from the others. Alone.
Meet me outside my room the next time we return to the house.
I'll be there. And, I can't wait. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Your Excellency? Do you still want me to be with you?
Of course, you idiot. Come here.
I'm afraid to ask. But what happens now? You're everything that I want. And everything I love. What about you? Do you want me? I mean, in the future.
I cannot imagine life without you, Kurt. I love you too.
My sweet Excellency.
Glad to see you, my friend. All these documents and evidence that have been accumulated against us to better play the political game. I don't like it. Now that we've recovered it all, I hope we'll fight back. Did you want anything else?
I must leave you.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. You can breathe easy now we've got our hands on all these documents. They've done a good job, I must say. I didn't expect them to have documents about me, too. Anything else?
I must leave you.
I must admit, Aurelia does possess a certain genius. The information she gleaned, the way she used it. She's a formidable opponent. But her pride got the better of her and she underestimated us. Now, it's our turn to act.
I will see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Karantz, now that we've recovered the documents which speak of us, can we finally drive that woman off the island? There are enough Renaigze here. We can do without the worst kind of lawyers and plotters. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Sweet Excellency. Ah, sweet Excellency.
You seem worried. What's wrong? Don't tell me that Aurelia's scheming has you frightened.
I'm worried about you, of course. I'm sure you'll defeat her. That's not what's worrying me.
Please, tell me what's wrong. You do know you can tell me.
Yes, of course. It's this whole wedding contract business. I'm sure the prince already has some dashing fops lined up to marry you.
That's very possible. You know him as well as I do. But we can always pull the rug out from under him.
What do you mean?
We can wed once this is over. What can he say? He's halfway around the world.
Do you really mean what you just said? You do realize that I'm just an insignificant mercenary to him. He would see it as a mismatch. You would surely lose your position as legate.
He'll certainly be furious and reprimand me. But I doubt he'd do much else. He already did his utmost to use me in his machinations on this island. He won't just give that up. So, what do you think?
I think I'll be the happiest man in the world when I lead my bride to the altar. I love you so much.
I love you too, Kurt.
Anything else?
I must leave you. Aurelia de Vespe, on behalf of Governor Constantin d'Orsay, you are under arrest.
Oh, really? Hardly surprising. Typical of the d'Orsay family's underhanded methods. On what grounds, might I ask?
Firstly, for fraud and forgery. The wedding contract you gave us is a fake.
Your lies are as dismal as they are desperate. The contract bears the seals of both my father and your prince. Is he trying to back out? Or has his idiot son simply decided to disobey him?
Neither. The d'Orsay seal upon this contract is forged, and I can prove it. Here. This is what was used to seal the contract. A cleverly made counterfeit we found in your camp.
That seal proves nothing. You probably made it yourself to undermine me. That contract could not be more authentic. The same, however, cannot be said of your noble lineage.
The second charge made against you is the attempted murder of Lady Morange. Are you also going to deny that your men attacked her?
This is a very serious accusation. I assure you that I had no knowledge of any attack on the former governor. And if an attack did indeed take place, I am certainly not the one responsible.
Is that so? Then why does this journal, written in your handwriting, Say that you wish to rid your city of all d'Orsay sympathizers, and that you'd found the perfect poison to do the deed in the forests surrounding your camp. Thankfully for Lady Morange, the Donegada living in the region gave us an antidote.
A journal only conveys thoughts, not facts. Don't tell me you've never wished for someone's death without actually acting on those thoughts. And more to the point, who's to say that journal's genuine in the first place? Your so-called evidence, Mr. Sade, is but a pack of lies.
Lastly, you are accused of having sequestered and murdered the Nauts who brought you to this island.
Another baseless accusation. I don't know how you could possibly prove my involvement.
As it happens, we freed the survivors, and they are very willing to testify against you. For all the charges set against you, you are under arrest.
The Malachor upon you, de Sade. I greatly underestimated you. How wrong I was. I should have courted you and made you my ally. Together, we would have been unstoppable. Very well. What are you going to do with me?
You'll be imprisoned here while we wait for the Congregation Council's ruling. Go on. Lock her up.
The de Vesps would have tried to impose themselves to the bitter end. It's fantastic that you gathered all this evidence. We won't have a ruling from the Council for months. Years, even. But I'm sure the de Vesps will pay a heavy price for Aurelia's folly, and the d'Orsay family will emerge greater than ever. Anyway, you should destroy the documents you found. Nobody else should ever get hold of them.
You're right. I'm going to burn them all right now, just to be on the safe side. Goodbye, sir. Thank you for your help.
I merely gave you guidance. That is my role. See you later.
All that's left is to destroy the evidence the de Vesps collected about us.
Glad to see you, my friend. Lady Morange had a very close call. That Aurelia would have stopped at nothing. She went as far as hurting my own. She will not make that mistake again. Now she's rotting away in jail. I hope your council will condemn her and her whole family of murderers. Did you want anything else?
I must leave you.
De Sade, I'm happy to see you. At last. I hope there aren't too many other families like that in your congregation. It would be painful to have to deal with such devious methods once again. Still, Aurelia de Vesp is under lock and key and everything is back in order. Anything else?
I must leave you.
I'm glad we made it in time to save Loreen. Lady Morange. She's a remarkable woman. Her talents would have been missed. And I'm pleased to see that you've managed to gather enough evidence to send our wicked schemer to jail. The de Vesps won't soon recover from an attempted murder and falsification charge at the Council of the Congregation. That should keep them at bay for quite some time.
I will see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Carantz, I'm glad we managed to save Lady Morange. Considering she's a Renaigze, she's rather wise, and at least she does not despise us. But your politics on the continent are very complicated. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Sweet Excellency. It was a close call for Lady Morange. Thank goodness we arrived in time. I have to say, I'm only half relieved that the Viper is behind bars. That kind of snake always finds a way to slither out of trouble. But it will certainly make your uncle's task easier. I just hope that cursed family never sets foot around here again. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Is this the last time I'll see you?
I don't know.
Go.
After the fall of Constantine, my young student managed to establish stronger links between the old nations and the natives. Some of their donegada were even invited to the continent, and with their help, it slowly became a land filled with life again. And for the first time in a long while, the number of cases of the Malichor is decreasing. Those who bravely fought at Dorhat Genadu were celebrated everywhere. After all, if it weren't for this unlikely alliance, the island would have fallen into Constantine's greedy hands. Kurt was regarded as a hero, but reuniting with the one he loved was the only thing that mattered to him. He is still by her side today, ensuring her protection from all dangers. Siora obtained the title of Marl of the Red Spears alongside her twin. She leads them with wisdom, but often reunites with the one she still calls her Karants. Afra set aside her weapons and went back to her research on the native culture and flora of the island. It is said that she is even writing a book with the help of Dunkasi's clan when not visiting her friends. For his bravery, Vasco was awarded the rank of commander. He now travels the sea at the head of a whole fleet, but he often comes back to visit his sister-in-arms. Petrus's ambitions have finally been fulfilled. He obtained the much-coveted title of Cardinal. Despite the responsibilities implied by such a title, he still sometimes visits the one he calls his child. Despite the help Ulan received, which allowed him to restore the importance of the seaside Nemeus, he still had to renounce the role of Marl as he faced the contempt of the other clans. Her friendship with Aranaigse helped Deirdre to overcome her reticence. She willfully accepted to follow the orders of her new High King. Dunkas and his people spent a lot of time with savants and theologians. Patiently, they shared their knowledge of the earth and learnt new techniques from one another, and in so doing, they restored balance between the New World and the Old. Following the investigations revealing the horrifying practices of Dr. Asili, the Alliance changed their methods and even appointed an ethics council to oversee the work of its scholars. The public revelations of St. Matthias's life led to a deep change in Ptolemy. The Ordo Luminis was dismantled for good, and the missionaries' purpose is now to establish dialogue rather than conversion. Aware that their culture of secrets would lead them to their demise, the Nords changed their methods. They welcomed numerous new recruits amongst them, notably natives. Under Sieglinder's control, the Guard returned to the honorable values that had made its reputation. And they did so all the more easily, now that their shadiest members were out of the picture. Alas, the De Vesp's arrival didn't bring peace to this island. Their scheming left its mark. Some of the people of New Serene still believe the lies they spread. However, the abundance of evidence against Aurelia signaled the end of the De Vesp's ambitions, both on Tir Fredi and the Old Continent, where they were harshly reprimanded by the Council, who relegated them to the status of the most obscure families.